When I was 7 years old, I got into writing poetry. My mom taught me about poetry, and since I was really into Japan, I learned how to write haiku, which is a Japanese poetry form that's only 3 lines long. It's very simple. And I wrote lots and lots and lots of haiku. And I told my mom I wanted to publish it in a book. And she was like, told me, well, okay, if you want to do that, then you have to send it in an envelope to a publisher and with a letter. She helped me write the letter asking if they'd publish my haiku. And I waited, and I think after maybe 1 or 2 months, I got a letter back. And it was a very sweet letter. They said, your poetry is so nice and wonderful, and we love it, but nobody really likes to buy poetry books of haiku. We're really sorry about that, but we can't publish your book. Costumes were cultural costumes, like Mexican blouse or a Hawaiian dress or something like that. And so I grew up dressing up in those costumes as part of play. Trips sometimes for his work. He went to Tahiti and he brought me back a grass skirt and shell necklaces, and I would dress up, and that was super exciting for me. That was my favorite thing to do as a kid, to play, was dress up in cultural costumes. The first drawing class I remember I went to, it was with a man named Bob Hummel that was a friend of my parents. And he was quite an accomplished artist. And he was the first one that really explained to me about shadow and light. And he showed me how in the world there is shadow and light on everything. And I had never noticed that before. And I remember stepping out of the house, and the sun was just about to go down. This was after the class that we had just had at my house. And everything looked different to me. The whole world looked different to me because I started to notice the light and shadow on everything. And that was very exciting to me, and was part of my interest in developing art. Later in my life, I had the opportunity to actually work for a publisher. When I was a teenager, I got a job at a place called Sage Publications. And even though it wasn't my first choice when I got into that, I'm actually really grateful that I did that, and I'm still able to use a lot of the things that I learned there, even in my books, which I'll show you in a few minutes. There was, we were learning a new language, we didn't really know too many people, and most of the time it was me and my son Matthew at home, just all the time for a really long time, and there was not much to do. And so you know what we did? We drew pictures. Me and Matthew all the time, just drawing pictures. And now he's an artist, and he does illustrating for books too. So I think it was a preparation for both of us. So later, Val started writing books, and I was really excited to see him doing that. And I offered to use my graphic design skills to help him make book covers and publish the books and promote the books. And that has been a really wonderful experience, very joyful opportunity, and also a great education for me to get further and further into the book world and learn a lot about it. All right, so let me share the book with you a little bit. And as I have come to another part of the world to live, and I've gone through the difficult process of, adjusting to a new culture, I've broadened my perspective, and I've been able to see things from a different side than what I grew up with. And so sometimes I run into people who don't have that broad perspective, and sometimes I notice that they have a lot of animosity towards a different culture or a different group of people. And I think to myself, I mean, I do this too sometimes. I try and fight it, but that idea of if we could just understand more about each other and why we do the things we do, why we think the way we think, and feel the way we feel, then there would be more peace in the world. I really think so. And I thought, well, a children's book is a fun way to do it, and I know, more about European countries than, I know a lot about Japan, but the European countries that I've been focusing on for a lot, I thought maybe I can make a book series that shows different cultures from the eyes of a child, and they're just through little simple stories, children can learn about why different cultures do things different ways. So. I'll start with Belgium because that's sort of seen as the capital of the European Union, and also because there are not very many books about Belgium.